Michelle, so I am going to make one of the most simplest desserts ever. Like literally, I'm in the kitchen of work, so it's gotta be pretty easy, right? There are 3 ingredients to make this bark. Chocolate. I'm using chocolate chips. You could use any kind of chocolate. Peanut butter chips, which can be substituted with like anything. And pretzel sticks, which again, could be substituted with like anything. This is seriously so ridiculously simple. All you have to do to begin is take your chocolate, however much you want, and you're gonna melt it. So I'm gonna melt it in the microwave because I'm at work and we don't have a stove. You can melt it on your stove if you want, or however you feel most comfortable melting chocolate. Just make sure you don't burn it, because once you melt chocolate, you can never take it back. So when you're melting it in the microwave, you want to melt it in like 30-second intervals until it is super, super smooth. And seriously, that's step 1, and it's almost the end of the whole thing. 3, 2, 1. So basically, you just have to make sure that you take the chocolate out like every 30 seconds so that it doesn't burn until it melts evenly. And then it looks so pretty like melted chocolate, which, not gonna lie, is like one of my favorite things to look at. So here is when the bark portion occurs. So easy. And look, I made a mess, but it doesn't even matter that I made a mess because I'm gonna pour more chocolate on top of this mess. Also doesn't matter that I didn't bring a flat pan to work today. I brought a muffin top pan. Doesn't matter, because that is how easy making bark is. So this is what I do now, which I'm like totally standing on the wrong side of the kitchen to do this for you though. All you do is pour the chocolate on your parchment paper. I think you can do this with foil too, but if it doesn't work, don't call me and complain. Just say I should have bought parchment paper. Because parchment paper is the world's gift. It's the nicest thing in the world. When you're baking cookies, cakes, brownies, parchment paper is always your best friend. I think you can use it for like meat and real food too, but I don't. So you want to spread this however you can all over your parchment paper. You can do this in different thicknesses. If you're going to use nuts, you might want to make it thicker because like you might want them completely covered, or you don't. This is why bark is the best thing ever, because you just do it to your heart's content. It's also a really good thing to do with kids because it doesn't involve the stove or the oven, and your kids can do this next part that I'm going to show you, and you can just get as messy as you want. That's my favorite activity also. People in this building would be like, that's why we call her Messy Michelle. So here's step 2 or 3, I don't know what we're on. Well, first you gotta get this bag open. So this is the fun part. I'm failing miserably. I should have had the bag open already, like on the Food Network. Okay. So you basically like drop stuff on it. Literally, that is step 2 or 3 or whatever we're on. Drop stuff on it. That's the step. I picked peanut butter because I don't like peanut butter and I don't want to eat this because I already ate a lot today. But it is going to be delicious and perfect for people who do like peanut butter. Now here is pretzel sticks. Pretzel sticks are fun because they're crunchy. You can do things. You can just literally throw them on there. Okay? You can be really creative and make like, I don't know, letters. That's an L. Or make them smaller, make them bigger. You could have started with the pretzels underneath and then poured the chocolate on top if you wanted to. You can also take the pretzels and like swirl the peanut butter chips in there. If it's still hot enough, it'll melt. If not, it's no big deal. But then it's like this area is covered. Obviously, this would be something you break apart and serve to different people, since I made different sections look different. But literally, this is the last step. You do this. You put things in the melted chocolate. You can do a couple things if you want to. You can either let it air dry, for lack of better terms, for like a couple hours, or you can put it in the fridge. I wouldn't recommend the freezer because your chocolate's going to get freezer burn, but for a couple hours, and then all you have to do is break it apart and say, here, I made you chocolate bark, and that's it. It's so